Hello, this is Keith from Amped Publishing, and today I'm going to be talking with Josh Zamura, who is going to be releasing a very powerful analytics tool called Web Detective tomorrow, I believe, at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So welcome, Josh.
Great. Great to be here, Keith, and hopefully share some good information with your people.
Yes, I hope so. I hope so. Okay, so data. I definitely am a data freak. I love to get into spreadsheets and analyze data. The importance of really, knowing your visitors, knowing your customers, what they like, what they don't, extremely important. I was actually watching, I think it's an older documentary, but it was called Amazon Rising. It was all about, kind of the rise of Amazon, obviously. And they were talking with the data engineers about how they analyze just millions and millions of different, data points to make these just slight, the slightest little tweaks, whether it's, loading the page a couple seconds faster or a couple of milliseconds faster, and how much that increased their conversions. It was amazing if you're a data guy.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember that documentary as well, and it's crazy. And when you're talking about Amazon, where they selling millions of billions of dollars worth of product every year, any small change is just incredible for them. And
yeah, absolutely. And you can learn from these big guys, right? They know how to do it. Now, that's an extreme example, of course, to the average blogger, but just understanding how important it is to really kind of mine that that data, and use it, and really how to use those that data that you're collecting. And I think one of the biggest probably problems nowadays is there's 20 different panels you have to log into just to get this data. So you're just constantly in and out of control panels. You forget where half of them are, and then kind of putting it all together makes it even more difficult. So I took a look at Web Detective there yesterday. I had a chance to go through it. A lot of good stuff there. So why don't you kind of tell us about what's going on with that?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's incredible how many people overlook actually taking the time to look at what's going on the websites. Most people are just out there throwing mud at the wall and seeing what sticks, but being able to analyze and see how your users are interacting on your website, it gives you a lot of, like you said, a lot of important data that you can use to get more traffic, to increase your sales, get more people on your email list, because that data, that's vital information. You're able to see exactly what people are doing on your website and tweak based upon that. And it's just incredible how sometimes we tend to overlook some of these things because it might be a little bit boring, but once you get in there and actually start using that data, it becomes exciting because you're able to see where your improvements are actually working. So what we've developed is something that allows you to do that and more, because the analytics part is just one small part of Web Detective, because you're also able to get a good idea of where your social traffic is coming from. You're also able to take a look at what your competitors are doing. You'll be able to see where they're getting links from, what keywords they're targeting, how well they're optimized, where they're getting social traffic from. So you're able to not only take a look at your own sites, but take a look at your competitor sites and copy what they're doing to get even more traffic as well. Because if you see your competitors doing well and you can see they're getting a lot of traffic, why go and try and reinvent the wheel when you can just use Web Detective, get a good snapshot of what they're doing, and implement that in your own business to get similar results.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of it too comes down to folks just really don't know kind of what to do, what to do with that data. And when you have the ability to kind of ethically spy on your competitors to see how they're using it. It's really, you're learning as you go as well. To have that all in one place, be able to see what others are doing, other successful people are doing, and then apply it to your own business. That's powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. And it doesn't get any better than that, because like I said, there's no real reason to go out there and reinvent the wheel. And a lot of people say it out there. Don't go out there and try to find something to sell. Just sell what's already selling.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's that right there. It really shortcuts your path to success instead of having to start from scratch and do something on your own.
Yeah, certainly, certainly. Okay, I'll tell you what, man. Why don't you give us a little insight into Web Detective and kind of show us some of these data points that people are allowed to to collect and how they're going to view it.
Yeah, absolutely. So let me share my screen.
Sure.
Let me know when you can see it.
Okay. Yep. That's there.
All right, perfect. So the first thing you'll notice is that Web Detective is a web-based software. So there's no software to download, no license keys to deal with. As soon as you purchase, boom, you get access to it. A nice web-based portal, regardless of what computer you have. As long as you have an internet connection, you can log into Web Detective and use it. So this is the main homepage here. You get pretty much a snapshot of what's going on your websites that you've added in here. And it's very simple to add Web Detective onto your sites as well. It just takes one piece of code that you need to add. Once you come over here to the analytics site, you just add a website. You type in your details here, and you're going to be provided with a small snippet of code, and you can add that to your site, and Web Detective will start gathering that information. Now, if you're on WordPress and you're kind of scared of adding code to your site, we've got, in the training area, we talk about this free plugin that you can add to your site, and it'll allow you to quickly and easily add any kind of code to your site. So if you're on WordPress and you're kind of scared of adding code to your website because you're scared you're going to break something, don't worry, we covered in the training area of exactly how to add it in.
Great.
So here's the analytics part of Web Detective. You're going to have a list of all the sites that you've added in here. To get the information, you just click on details and you'll be taken here to the details page. And here's where you're really going to get a good idea of everything that's going on your site. So here you can see this particular website has gotten over 9,000 visitors and over 16,000 page views over the last few weeks or so. Down here, I can see the average stay time, the average visit, the bounce rate. And then up here in the top, we have all these different tabs that give us even more information about our website. So I can click on traffic source and get a very good idea of where my traffic is coming from. And then here, it's going to allow me to focus more time on where the majority of my traffic is coming from, right? So here at the bottom, I can see that my main search engine, of course, is Google, then Yahoo, Excite. I don't even know what Excite is, so I'm getting some good traffic from there, so I can focus some time and maybe see if I can optimize my site a little bit better for Excite and Bing as well. And over here on the right-hand side, I can see that I'm getting a lot of traffic from Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Meetup. And this was something that I was astonished about myself, Meetup.com. I set up a Meetup profile a while ago, and to see that I'm getting traffic from there, that's very interesting for me. It's something that I may want to go back and look at and analyze and see where I'm getting traffic from Meetup and continue doing more of that. Maybe join some more groups or post some, into some more, better optimize my profile or something. Because this is something that I never thought I would see here is getting traffic from Meetup.
Yeah. Wow. I'll tell you what, I just made a note.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to have to go ahead and get on that. That's, and it's really, you just kind of brought something to light there. Is it reveals things you don't even know. So it's that's pretty powerful.
Yeah, that's why it's important to make sure that you're keeping track of what's going on in your site, because there's pockets of traffic that you may not have traffic from that you can go and focus time on and get as much traffic as you can from those places.
Nice.
Yeah, another thing here is the visitor type. This is also very powerful as well, because we all know that getting repeat business from an already existing customer is a lot easier than getting a sale from a new customer. So here I have a lot more new users coming to this website than returning users. So if I'm able to increase the amount of these new users to return to my site, the chances of them buying my products and the chances of them joining my list are going to increase every single time they return to my website. So just seeing this data, I'm going to want to focus some time on this website, get people back to the website. So one thing that I'm going to focus on is adding some retargeting to this website so that I can start getting more people back. Maybe adding some opt-in forms to get people on my email list and then being able to email them back to my website, and just figure out how I can increase the amount of returning users that I'm getting on this site, because the more exposed to my content and my products, the easier it is to make that sale.
Right.
This is some very important information here, because now I know that, boom, I should go and start putting some retargeting on the site and getting people back to this website. Another thing here is a content overview. Your visitors will tell you what content they like. So here I'm able to see that they like this piece of content here, and I shouldn't focus on this one down here. You know, I want to focus on the one that's bringing the most traffic, getting the most activity, and create more content around that topic. All right, so that's some very important information as well. You know, your visitors will tell you what they're interested in, and just give them more of that. So it's very important to see what content people are consuming on your website. Another important thing here is the country where your traffic is actually coming from. This is important as well if you ever want to scale your traffic and start paying for it, you know, using Facebook ads or YouTube ads or anything like that. They're able to, you know, Facebook in particular allows you to choose where you want your traffic to come from. So if I have analytics like this on my site, I'm able to know exactly where to pay for traffic for. You know, I'm not going to come over here and pay for traffic. I think this is Iceland or Queensland. No, one of these. I'm not sure which one.
Yeah, Greenland or something.
Yeah, Greenland. Yeah. No, I think Iceland. I think is this little one. Yeah. Iceland.
Yeah. There you go.
So, you know, I'm not going to pay for traffic for this country here because I'm not getting traffic from there. I'm going to focus on, you know, the U.S., Canada, and drop as more money there because I know that that's where my traffic is coming from. So there's no need to pay for traffic anywhere else.
Yep.
The browser report here, this is also very vital information as well because some people may not know this, but your website performs differently on different web browsers. So as an example, say here Safari, I'm getting some decent amount of traffic from Safari, and let's say I have some kind of a list building or opt-in form or some kind of lead capture pop-up on my website. Sometimes it may not be showing up on Safari, or it may not be showing up on Firefox because they're different browsers. So sometimes you have to create specific code in these different types of plugins so that they can work correctly on these browsers. So you want to make sure that if you're getting, you know, for example, Firefox is one that tends to act up quite a bit. There's a good amount of traffic here in Firefox. I want to make sure that my website is performing at its best possible form for Firefox so that I'm not missing out on any leads or any sales just because, you know, I'm missing a little piece of code on my website. And the operating system as well is very important because as you know, you and I as a software company, many times we're always kind of focusing on tailoring to both Mac and PC users. Which definitely, you know, that's where a lot of companies are going. But here, I can still see that I have a huge market still in the Windows, you know, people that use Windows for this particular site. So I can tailor some kind of content or some kind of software for people that use Windows specifically because the majority of my traffic for this site are Windows users. And I was surprised as well that, you know, such little Mac users are on this site. So, you know, that's something to think about as well, is that I can still go out there and focus a lot of time on just Windows-based software because at least for this particular site, I can see that the majority of my users are Windows-based users.
Yeah, and absolutely, I'm seeing the mobile, you know, devices as well, which you know, I'm sure you're familiar with. We have had our struggles, you know, being in software, just Android versus iOS. I mean, there's such differences there between those two platforms. It's really good to know, you know, kind of who's hitting it, you know. And if your iPhone, you know, if you're finding that usage is just really low and it's really out of balance with something like an Android, you know, there may be an issue with the site, you know, so that kind of triggers you to go out there and make sure all the code is up to speed.
Yeah, absolutely. So all this information here allows you to really make sure your website is on top of the game and performing at its peak because you don't want to be losing out on any traffic or any sales or any leads just because one thing is acting up on your site.
Right.
And same here, you know, something we just talked about as well, the device report. You want to make sure that your site is working both on desktop and mobile because here you can see I'm getting traffic from both of those places. So, and this is just the analytics portion of Web Detective. So you can see there's a lot of great vital information that we get here. We still have all of these other features here. So I'm going to touch on a few of them, and on the sales page, we're going to have everything broken down for you. One quick one here is a social network analysis. This gives you a good idea of where your traffic is coming from on social networks. And here, one thing that really caught my attention here was on StumbleUpon. I got one of my blog posts went viral, and I got over 50,000 hits.
Wow!
StumbleUpon. So that's one very important thing as well that I may want to go back and analyze what's going on with that blog post, what caused it to go viral on there, and create more content just like that to continue getting more traffic from there.
Huh.
So, just little things like that where you can see where the pockets of traffic are and focus your time on that. And here under domain analysis, this is another powerful one as well, where you can come in here and we have an auction domain list that here it updates daily. You can see there's over 2,400 pages here of domains that are up for auction that you can pick up, some very powerful domains. Some of them that are age domains that you can rebuild and use and get some quick rankings for. Also here under keyword analysis, all right, here you can analyze what keywords are bringing in traffic for you. You just plug it in there, plug in your domain, and it's going to tell you where what's going on with it. So if I just come in here and put, for example, how to, as an example, make money online.com, let's say, start analysis. All right. Boom, I can see here that this particular site is not doing very well when it comes to optimization. There's not many header to tags. And not much going on here at all in terms of optimization. And here at the bottom, I'm able to see as well what keywords he's targeting. All right, and I'm able to probably just steal all of these keywords here. I'm the one that I'm the type of person that I like going after the longer tail keywords. So I'm going here directly to the forward phrases, how people make money and people make money with, and these kind of keywords here. Are some good ones that I may be able. Now it doesn't look like he's optimizing too well because some of these keywords aren't. I used to make things like that. So this site in particular might not be that well optimized, but there might be some good ones here that I can target, steal from him, and go and use in my own campaign. But this one doesn't seem like they're trying too hard to get traffic from Google from. Sure. So here, if I also come back over here and I go to the keyword auto suggestion tool, this is very powerful as well because you're able to come in here and get a good idea of what other keywords you can target. So if I type in, say, how to make money online as an example, he'll start searching. Web Detective is not going to come out here and populate a bunch of keywords that I can possibly target with for my campaigns. So here you can see Google suggesting some tools, Bing, Yahoo, and even Amazon. So within one click, I'm able to generate a ton of keywords that I may not have thought of myself that I can use in my own campaign. Right? And here as well, we have keyword position tracking. So once you start getting traffic from some keywords, you can add it in here. Keep track of where you're ranking. And it's very simple to add. You just click on add here. You add your keyword, you add your website. We have multiple different countries that you can choose from as well. All right, we have multiple different languages that you can choose from as well. You just hit save, and boom, that is now going to be added into the projects area. And then from there, you can come here to keyword position report, and you can choose on whichever project you just added and get a good idea of, and the good thing is that you don't have to come in here and manually check your rankings. Web Detective will automatically update daily, so you could just come in here and run a report, every 2 weeks or every month or every day, whatever you want, you can run a report. So I'll just run a report between, let's say, Monday and today. And if I hit search for this particular site, you can see that there's two. Now these we were tweaking with the code, so that it was acting up here. But you can see here 2 ranking position 2, position 2, position 1, position 1, Bing position here, and Yahoo positions here. So you can come in here and get some quick snapshots of where you're ranking, depending on what you choose on the dates. Nice. And it does it automatically. You don't have to come in here and update anything. It does it daily for you.
Yeah, that feature alone there, that's powerful there. That is saves. That's a time saver, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And this, that's the thing. There's so many features within Web Detective that can be products of their own.
Yeah.
And there's so many of them in here that it's really an all-in-one tool to really help people not only keep a track of their own websites and be able to improve their websites, but improve their competitor, be able to copy their competitors as well. Right. So here on the left, we also have our backlink builder. So we have our backlink generator here. which within one click you can generate some good amount of backlinks for your site. So boom, you just plug in the domain here, start generation, and Web Detective will build some good links for you here, and you can download them and do some additional indexing and things like that if you wanted to as well. One thing I wanted to touch on as well, I forgot, was the link analyzer. So here you can quickly get a good idea of where your competitors are getting backlinks from, how many backlinks they have, whether they're do follow, no follow. You can download them. You can copy them. Once you download them, you can do a bunch of stuff and really get some good data on your competitors and also your own websites. See where your links are coming from, whether they're do follow, no follow, and all that good stuff that you want to make sure you're doing, so that we all know that the better, the more quality links you get, the higher you're going to rank in Google.
Sure.
So here we also have, under the backlink generator, we have a website pinger. So if you just created a brand new website, or you just published a new blog post and you want to make sure it gets indexed as quickly as possible, you just come in here, hit website ping, fill out this information, hit ping website, and now Web Detective will ping your site on all these different RSS pinging sites, and it'll help to make sure all of your content and all of your new websites get indexed as quickly as possible.
Nice.
So yeah, we also have here on the left some other kind of miscellaneous features in here, like the malware scanner, because we all know that the second that your site has malware on it, Google will most likely de-index it, and until you get it fixed, they'll include it back into their index. So the last thing you want to do is have malware on your site. Here we have the Google AdWords scraper. So if anyone is out there paying for Google AdWords, you can come in here and find some additional keywords that you can target. The utilities as well. Here's a few of my favorite ones as well. We have a plagiarism checker, because the last thing you want is for someone to be stealing your content, publishing it on their own content, and have it harming your traffic, because you don't want anyone out there, especially if you spend time and money to create content, you don't want someone stealing it.
Yeah, certainly. Yep.
Yeah, another thing here is a valid email checker. So for those of you that are building email lists, sometimes when you're running a lot of freebie campaigns, some people tend to obviously put fake emails to claim your free gifts. So you want to make sure you're sorting through all those crappy emails and only getting the best of the best, because if you're emailing too many invalid emails, that harms your deliverability as well. So you can come in here and every month or every week make sure that you're sorting through only your valid emails and only emailing those people. Another thing here as well is the duplicate email filter. This is, again, for people that are building some big lists and want to make sure that they're not having duplicate emails, because there's two reasons for that. Number one, you don't want to be sending multiple emails to the same person, because some people get annoyed with that, especially if they sign up to multiple different lists of yours.
Right.
Sometimes they get 3 or 4 emails at the same time. Also, for mostly every autoresponder out there, you get charged for every email, regardless if they're on multiple different lists or not. So you can cut your costs dramatically by filtering out only unique emails and loading them up into your autoresponder.
Nice.
And yeah, so those are just a few of the features that I wanted to touch on. I mean, like I said, Web Detective is jam-packed with a bunch of features. And on the sales page, we're going to cover absolutely all of them, screenshots, and have full explanations of everything. But we've really built the ultimate tool to not only analyze your own websites and get a good idea of what visitors want and how you can increase your traffic, but how you can keep a track and analyze what your competitors are doing and be able to carbon copy what they're doing to get traffic.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think you have definitely solved the problem there of I mean, I honestly, I went through the software, yesterday and got it installed on my main site, and I did miss a lot of that. I just didn't have time to kind of get into all of that, all of the features there. So this was a fantastic walkthrough and really kind of gave me a few ideas on what to check out next. So, I mean, I think you've definitely solved that problem of, getting all those data points into one section. I think that's where I lose it the most is I just don't have time to log into 100 different platforms to check these things. So yeah, you definitely hit it here. You want to tell us again when we go live?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going live on June 2nd at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So from 11 to about 6 p.m. we're going to be running a very special, even bigger discount And then after that, the price is going to start going up. So you guys want to make sure you get it right at 11 a.m. on June 2nd, which is Thursday.
Excellent, excellent. All right. Well, thanks so much, Josh, for your time today, and that great walkthrough. I'm sure everyone's going to love it and jump on board. For my customers, taking a look at this, I've got some great bonuses lined up for you guys as well. So go ahead and tomorrow, 11 a.m., jump on and get in on that early bird special and get all those bonuses. Thanks again, Josh. You have yourself a fantastic day, and I'm sure this is going to rock it.
Awesome. Thanks, and have a great day too, Keith.
All right. You bet, bud.